Hello, how are we all doing? Welcome back to another night of Premier League. Well, not Premier League watch-along, but we're doing Premier League teams watch-alongs. We're doing Aston Villa tonight against Go Ahead Eagles in the Europa League at the Adelashorst Stadium in Deventer in the Netherlands. Go Ahead Eagles are in Europe by account of winning the KNVB Cup last year. They kind of punched above their weight. And first time in Europe for them. It's historic that they're playing such a huge club in Aston Villa. I do need to change the text at the bottom, sorry. I've just realised I've not changed the lineups. Martin, Pau, Mings, Lindelof, Bohada, Onana, Sancho, Buendia, Watkins, Gesand for Villa tonight, and Martinez in goal. Go Ahead Eagles, maybe a less known starting 11, but we'll talk through some of the better known players. I've watched a fair bit of Eredivisie over the last 12 to 18 months, so I can actually talk relatively intelligently about some of the Go Ahead Eagles players. And Melvin Ball, the manager. But we're about to get underway. Big game this for Villa, especially if they're going to be making it into the next stage. How are we all doing anyway? Good to see you all. Let me just get my stuff going over here. Villa are off and underway. Let's get the clock going. Firm favourites tonight, Villa. It's got to be said. Has to be said, firm favourites. Cheers, mate. Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Good to see you. Lots of big games kicking off. I'll keep you updated on all the other games going on around Europe. Bran against Rangers. Steaua Bucharest v Bologna. Fenerbahce Stuttgart. Genk against Betis, Lyon v Bâle, Salzburg against Ferencváros, and Braga against Red Star. AEK Athens against Aberdeen as well in the Conference League. Some other big Conference League games going on. Skendia against Shelbourne also being played. And later on tonight we've got Palace against AEK Larnaca. Whether or not we actually watch Palace and AEK Larnaca, I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to you lot. We'll make a decision come the end of this game. We'll decide whether we watch Palace or whether we watch Forest. Could be Palace, could be Forest. I'm game either way. I'll watch any of them. But tonight, for now, we are watching Go Ahead Eagles and Aston Villa. Good ball in. Oh, big chance. Big chance for the Eagles. A lovely ball in from deep. I think he'd have been... there's about 9 of them offside. Absolutely brilliant play there from Villa. The offside trap caught. Caught him out there. Meulenstein in midfield as well. I wonder if that's... is that René Meulenstein's lad? I would imagine so. Remember René Meulenstein used to be assistant manager at Man United? Good ball in. Oh, I tell you what, Go Ahead Eagles are starting quite well, you know. It's got to be said. They've had an half-decent start to this one. Lindelof. Is Lindelof actually playing right wing back? Or right back? He is as well, isn't he? That's an odd tactical decision, it has to be said, from Unai Emery to put Lindelof at right back. Unless he's actually going to play Sancho at right wing back. Which seems, I've got to say, a little bit silly. Right, I can show that now. There you go. Right, Sort up, sorry, evening sir, sitting waiting for the Rangers game to kick off, already bricking it. Gav's highlights, big ups Key, how's it going? Good to see you, man. Villa are in, and they've scored! Gesand, early goal, what a finish. Oh, it's a great finish as well, that. Gesand has put Villa in front. 1-0 to the Villa, early goal, that's just what they'd have wanted to settle things down. It's a lovely ball across the face of goal. Keeper gets it all wrong. And it's actually quite a good finish on the half volley. It is actually a really good finish. He gets to it first, and it's so easy to put those over the bar. Yeah, he just kind of gets a touch on it, doesn't he? I thought he'd cushioned it, actually. I maybe gave him a little bit more praise than was deserving. But either way, ball goes in the net. I thought he'd just cushion that in, but it was actually a really good, really maybe a little bit more fortunate than I thought. But either way, Gesand has put Villa in front 1-0. Gav's highlights, didn't he manage Fulham as well? Meulenstein, I think he might have done, yeah. Yeah, well spotted, I think he might have done. Right, sorry, I'm not ignoring your TikTok. Apologies. Arab Joe, did you change your room, mate? No, I've just changed the old setup a little bit. I've just changed it so it's standing instead of sitting. Yeah, pretty much it. It's the same thing, same place. Emiliano, what are your top 5 teams at the moment? My top 5 teams at the moment. I'd say... PSG, Barcelona, in no particular order, I would say, because it's tough to call, but I would say Barcelona, PSG, Barcelona, PSG, Arsenal, Real Madrid, maybe City, Liverpool. I'd say City, Liverpool, Real Madrid are kind of all on about even keel. But the main maybe 3, you could throw Arsenal in there as well. But there's not much between Arsenal, Real Madrid, Liverpool, and City. It's Barcelona and PSG who've been the standouts for me this season. Even if not always in terms of results, I think in terms of performance, they've been incredible. Inter Milan have actually been quite good in terms of form. But if we're just talking about, if we're not including form, I'd comfortably have Liverpool in there in terms of top 5. But this is the thing, Gav. He said form. I think he's on about form. And if I'd have said Liverpool are in there off the basis of form, it's obvious we're not. It's obvious that we're not. Evening, Liam. How's it going? Liverpool and PSG, Bayern. No, Bayern wouldn't be in there. Harry Kane's the only good thing about Bayern. Him and Luis Diaz, sorry. Other than that, Bayern's a pretty average side. I don't expect Bayern to go far in the tournament. Same with Inter Milan, really. Inter have had a really good start to the season, but I don't fancy him to go very far. And does Chelsea. Behave yourself. 3-star Reds turn the Premier League table upside down, Key, and there'll be another top 5 team. I want to watch you lads tonight. I want to change the game. I've got on my schedule tonight Crystal Palace against Larnaca, and I really, really want to watch Nottingham Forest and Porto. I really want to watch you. So I might change the schedule. So apologies if we've got anyone who's not so great with change, but I might actually have to change the schedule because I'm fancying we watch Forest v, especially after the change. I thought we might have been watching Ange Postecoglou's Forest, and now it's Sean Dyche's Forest. I feel like that's a really, really big opportunity that we should be watching that. So, yeah, I think we should do Forest. Even though I love Palace and I love the tale of Palace in Europe, Palace will stick 5 past Larnaca. They'll absolutely batter him, whereas Forest and Porto, I think, will be a really good game. Taylor H says, we just battered Ajax 5-1, mate. Yeah, mate, did you not see fucking Azad Alkmaar did it at the weekend? Like, well done. Well done. You're not special, you beat Ajax. Christ, everyone beats Ajax at the minute. Steaua Bucharest 0, Bologna 1. Sam, fair play, you really will watch anything. What are you talking about? Villa's absolutely sensational. Huge team. M15, good to see you, man. Three-star Reds for that loyalty to my team, Key. I will tune in for that, mate. Nice. Good lad. Good lad. Good to have you. Always good to have you on, mate. Rapid 0, Fiorentina 1. Taylor says we're coming for our 3rd Champions League. Chelsea are not winning the Champions League. You'll do well to qualify for it next year. Oh, and Dor scored for Fiorentina. Rijeka 1, Sparta Prague 0. I knew they'd get one. Bar stewards. Gav says, I would have to say, as much as it hurts me to, Arsenal have had the best Champions League win this week, in my opinion. Well, they have, but come on, like let's also just point out that Arsenal have. Yeah, let me just move that a tad. Let's just also point out that Arsenal have been 0-0 at half time with Atletico Madrid, and no one was really shocked by that, were they? Two of the most boring defensive sides in Europe, led by two of the most boring defensive managers. It was always going to be 0-0 at half-time, and then, would you believe, Arsenal score a set-piece and it all opens up. See, it's completely different when you watch other teams. This is why no one wants Arsenal to win anything, really. This is why Arsenal fans think it's like, oh my God, we're just... Oh, what a tackle that was! Oh, that was a naughty one, and it might well be a season ender there for Go Ahead Eagles player. Who is it who's gone down? I don't know, but he's screaming already. This is a bad one. Immediately he went like that to the bench. It's a bad night, this one. Connor says, hello, Keen. Currently lunchtime in the US watching the footy while eating lunch. Nice. What have you got for lunch, more importantly? Connor says, pulling for Go Ahead Eagles because I find it hard to root for other English clubs that's not Arsenal. Oh, mate, nah, listen, you've got to root for the English team in Europe, unless they're a direct rival. Like, I can totally understand you not wanting Spurs to win the Europa League. That's fine. I'll be honest, I don't really mind it. I'm rooting for Villa tonight. I'm rooting for Palace and Forest later on. But that's mainly because they're not in the competition that we're in, I guess. Gav says, Key, you better not let Arsenal win the Premier League this season because my life will be hell if you do, from my mates. Listen, just laugh at him, mate. Just laugh at him. They'll win. They might win the Prem. They might win it. I'll be honest. We've changed half our team. We've lost. We've had a massive tragedy occur. Like, we might not be the challenge. It might be City. It genuinely might be City who's Arsenal's biggest challenges this season. I'm sure we won't give up the league lightly. But it could well be that this is Arsenal's year. Like, I'm prepared to accept that that's a possibility. I don't think it will be, but it might be. And if it is, just laugh at them. They've still not won a European Cup, which is the one that they want. That is the one that they want. Believe it or not, it is. They want the Champions League because that is the monkey on their back that they have never won in their life. In their entire club's history. Their dads, their granddads, none of them have seen it. Me and you have seen it though, haven't we, mate? Those Arsenal fans haven't seen it. They haven't seen it at all. We've seen it multiple. We're bored of seeing it. We're bored of seeing it, our team, lifting all big ears. Not Arsenal, though. Arsenal don't get any of that. Forest 1, Porto 1, you're thinking, okay. Taylor says we've got a good players and a Brazilian wonder kid who is going to cook this season. Oh, please don't say players are going to cook. Please don't say that, mate. You sound like an absolute numpty. He's going to cook. Listen, I can't stand that language. Let him cook, bro. 3-star Reds. He's not showing him a yellow. Well, I didn't think it was a yellow card, but it was a bit of a. It was a naughty tackle. Like he properly went through him, but it's the go-ahead Eagles. Has he shown him a yellow as he's being carried off the pitch? Connor says, does Slot not like Vert, or does he not fit the Liverpool system? Because I'm having trouble figuring out why spending the 150 million and not finding a regular starting spot for him. Well, he has started. He has started the vast majority of games this season, Connor, so I don't know where you've got that from. I also don't know where you've got 150 million from. Because it ain't 150 million. It's a lot less than that. It's a lot less than that. So yeah, it ain't 150 million. He has started pretty much every game this season. So I it's great to have you on, but I'd say the whole premise of the question is wrong. If you're starting from Florian Wirtz doesn't play for Liverpool and we paid 150 million from him, then you're already out of the woods on that one. Hacker 0, Rayo Vallecano 1. Taylor H says you're an unk key. That's why. Sorry, mate, but true. It's not an insult. You don't have to apologise. I don't know what an unk is. I don't even know what an unk is. So call me an unk. It ain't. There's no apology required. I don't know what it is. All I'm saying is, you sound like a dweeb if you use words like cook. Let him cook. You sound like a dweeb. You sound like you were milk monitor at school. Which is a hugely respected authoritative position. Liverpool says, do a cooked Leverkusen better than Lamin Penal? Oh, sweet Lord. Sweet Lord. These kids. Gav says, see, after you defeat to United, a certain fan in my vid was calling for Slot's head already. I couldn't believe what he was saying, to be honest. No, but he's just talking out his arse, isn't he? He's just talking out his... Listen, there's some people... You know it as well as anyone, Gav. You know it as well as anyone that there's some people who will just say anything to get the views, won't they? They'll just say whatever they need to say. And if it helps get a little bit of a... a little bit... And it's so transparent, these people. They're not very intelligent. They just say stuff like... Oh, yeah, sack Slot. Sack him, get him out. We won the league last year with we didn't spend a penny. We won the league at a canter. What are you talking about? These people don't understand football. Connor says, I'm so out of the loop, it's hard to keep up with the world of football now. Hey, mate, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But Wirtz has started pretty much every game for us. We've dropped him for a couple. And even then, he has come off the bench fairly early. He came off the bench against Chelsea, made a big impact straight away. I thought he did all right against United when he came off the bench as well. And last night he starts and gets 2 assists. He was one of our best players. I gave him the man of the match. So yeah, I think Wirtz is in a really, really good position at Liverpool, despite what everyone's saying. There's some people who just enjoy trying to wind Liverpool up and say, oh, he's awful. Yeah, no, there's every single team that suggests that would take Florian Wirtz in a heartbeat. Robert says, Arne Slot is a nobody, calling my club a small club. Who dare he? He didn't say that Newcastle were a small club. He said smaller club. And I don't think anyone would dispute that Newcastle are a smaller club than Liverpool, are they? Key sponsored by Boohoo, man. Not quite. Not quite. Gavs, you had a stinker in the vid too, Key, saying you was all over them. Mate, we was though. We was. We battered United. We battered Chelsea. In whichever metrics you care to measure, apart from goals, obviously they won in terms of the goals. But everything else, we had a better XG than United, we had a better XG than Chelsea. We had the best chances in the game to score, and we just didn't take them in the end, which was the unfortunate bit, really. Chips at Midnight says, I want Everton to have a crack at the top. Success for Everton this season is probably just staying in the league, my mate. Swifty says, only United bigger than Liverpool in my view. And Jay Ryder says, how far do you think England will go in the World Cup next year? In the nicest possible way, don't give a toss. I honestly don't care. I don't support England. I don't watch any of the national football teams and enjoy them. That's a lie. That's a lie. I enjoy watching national footy in the same way that I enjoy watching any footy. But I'm not watching England and thinking, come on, England. I couldn't give a monk. Honestly, it wouldn't matter to me one jot if we got beat. And I say we. I don't know why I'm saying we. I don't reckon. England is not my team. England is not my national team. I don't have one. Ben Hughes says, sounds very American English, the Go-Ahead Eagles names. It does, doesn't it? The Go-Ahead Eagles. Go-Ahead Eagles. Be Yourself Dylan says, the Sparta Prague game suspended. Why? Why has it been suspended? Liam Manning says, XG, don't lower yourself that low key. No, I don't. But I'm just saying there's some people who do. There's little stat virgins who do, isn't there? And XG matters to people like that. So that, I'm talking their language just for a moment there and saying, well, look, if you want to measure in XG, Liverpool had a better XG than Chelsea, a better XG than United. Villa, chance, cleared away. AFC Harv, how's it going? Swifty, the England team needed another central midfielder, and it seems we've got a couple of new options. Who? Who do you think? Connor says, success for Everton every season is just staying up. Gav's highlights in your poor face when they made it 2-1. Oh, don't remind me. But again, do you know, in the cold light today, mate, after a while, it's not, we've won one now, so I'm maybe a little bit more chill and upbeat about it. Because for a while, there was people saying, oh, it's a crisis at Liverpool. And in my head, I'm sat there thinking, it's not a crisis, we're fine. We played really well against Chelsea, played well against United. We ended up getting beat in both of them. That was unlucky. We lost in the last minute in both games. But we played well. But you still have those lingering doubts where you're like, oh, please don't let us lose against Frankfurt. If we lose against Frankfurt, good Lord, we can't be doing with that. So, yeah, I was a little bit nervous with the Frankfurt game. But now that it's happened, we've won comfortably, we played really, really well. It's come out yesterday that Virgil van Dijk had a big meeting with all the players. I don't know if you've seen this in the news. Virgil van Dijk had a big meeting with all the Liverpool players on Monday, like a crisis meeting, effectively, and he said, listen, we cannot keep doing this. We can't do this. We're better than this. We're the champions. We've got to start, asserting ourselves into games again. We've got to dominate again. And it got a result. It got a reaction. It was crowd trouble, says Dylan. All right. Well, that's a bit of a kick in the balls, isn't it? Connor says, any Big Six club could drop a few matches and every media outlet says, insert club in crisis. Very true. Yeah, and do you know what, mate? There's not many people who are wise enough to that behaviour from the media, right? And inevitably, it's morons who say that sort of stuff on social media. It rises to the top, doesn't it? It becomes the thing that everyone sees when they log into X or when they go onto Instagram or when they go onto YouTube or whatever. They see that divvy saying, slot out, Liverpool are in a crisis, blah, blah, blah. that's what they see, because it's those dickheads, for less of a better word, who rise to the surface. And it takes a little bit of nuance. If you've watched football for long enough, you know that it's not that way. You know that it's not that way, and you're always just waiting for a little upturn. How long have I been saying this season? Anyone who's watched me for more than one game will know that United fans especially, have been coming in and saying, especially after they lost against Grimsby. What did I say after United lost against Grimsby? I said to loads of Liverpool fans and any other rival fans in there, I said, listen, don't pick at United too much. They're a massive club and they will be back. I'm telling you, they'll be back. Now, I don't think they'll be back this season, and I don't think they'll be back under Amorim. I think Amorim gets sacked. However, they will be back. Very, very soon, they will be back. They're investing too much money in that club to get it wrong for as long as they have. Liverpool ex-PSG says Chelsea is still in crisis since 22-23. And Reece says apparently playing long ball against Liverpool is the way to go, Key. Well, a little bit, yeah. I mean, I think Slot's frustrated, isn't he? He's pointing out there that Eintracht Frankfurt tried to play football and they took the lead against us and they played football in a way that's honourable. Whereas other teams, too often in the Premier League, are resorting to direct, long balls, physicality. And he's having a whinge at the way that that's going. I think he wants football played on the deck. But yeah, he's having a bit of a whinge about it, isn't he? Connor says United are poised to come back and compete for the Prem and the top four again. They're just too big of a club to stay down forever, in my opinion. Connor, you're absolutely right, mate. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. When they're spending that sort of money, United inevitably will get back to it. I don't want it to happen, but it will happen, won't it? Of course it'll happen. I wish it didn't, but I'm sure it will. And if I'm dead honest, if I'm really, really brutally honest, as much as I don't like United and they're a rival, I would much, much rather have Manchester United competing with Liverpool for league titles than Chelsea or City. Much, much rather United. I'd rather it be Liverpool and United at the top, and Liverpool, United and Arsenal at the top, than Liverpool and City, or Liverpool and Chelsea. I would much rather those teams. Will says, will Danny Roll, having taken over the Rangers, how long realistically do you think he'll stay? And is he the right manager for them to keep them up? I think they'll do okay, yeah. Is he in charge tonight against Bran? Is he actually in charge? I don't think he is he? Is he in charge tonight against Bran? Surely not. AEK Athens are 3-0 up against Aberdeen within 28 minutes. He is? Oh, okay. Danny Roll in charge of Rangers tonight against Bran. Interesting. Well, I've got Bran to score against Rangers tonight, so I'm hoping Bran get a goal at least. But yeah, in terms of if he's the right manager or not, I think he'll do alright. Yeah, Danny Roll's not a bad manager. There's not really been an awful lot of action in this game since the goal, if I'm dead honest. It's been mainly... There's been a couple of half chances for Villa. The ball's kind of sticking in midfield and within a couple of passes it's breaking up. But Go Ahead Eagles are pressing quite well. They've just won the ball back there. They've done very well. Oh, Villa are in here. It's a chance for Villa to make it 2. Guess and he's missed it. Oh, you've got to put that away. How much did they pay for him? Oh, that's poor. Will Forever, who is SK Brand's best player? Isn't it the lad from West Brom? Literally, I'm sure it is. There's the lad from West Brom. What's his surname now? Is it Hegbo or Hedgebo? Hegbo. We'll say it's Hegbo. He signed for West Brom in like August. And obviously the Norwegian Elite Syrian League runs from, I don't know when, but it runs over the summer months, doesn't it? I can't remember exactly what month to month it runs to. But either way, it's running over the summer months, and I'm pretty sure that Hegebo is one of their top scorers still. He might even be their top scorer. Chance for Villa, good save. Yeah, he might genuinely be their best player this season, and he plays for West Brom, and has played for West Brom for 2 months now. Or nearly 3 months, isn't it? Auna Hegebo. Ben says they finished lower than Everton and West Ham and still were able to spend 150 million too. United, I know. Yeah, I know, mate. It's crazy. But I can understand that because of the legacy of the, you know, historically Man United have made a lot of good decisions on and off the pitch, and that earns a certain level of flexibility, let's call it. A longer leash. Whereas other clubs, you know, like Villa and Newcastle and whatever, these are the new teams trying to break into the top 4, top 5, and as a result, because 5 years ago, both of them teams were in the Championship, weren't they? They were both in the second division. So the idea that Newcastle and Villa should just be able to spend whatever they want to get into Europe and just spend whatever you want, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. There has to be a little bit of merit to it. You can't just come up and get a rich owner and spend what you like. I mean, that happened with City and Chelsea, and it ruined the league. So, understandably now, we have closed that door. Sam says Nintendo sponsor in the background. Oh, I wish. I'd love that. No, it's Fiorentina, isn't it? It's my old Fiorentina shirt. The old Gabriel Batistuta Fiorentina shirt. They're not actually sponsoring the channel. I'd love it if they were, though. Imagine that, start of every Premier League dad stream. That was my Super Mario impression. If you didn't get it. 3-star Reds, go ahead Eagles. I've got some crap shirts by the look of it from the pictures. And Pup says, Elvin Haaland is the highest value player at 6 million according to Transfermarkt. Oh, Elvin Helland. Elvin Helland. That's a very Norwegian name, isn't it? The League One derby tonight, says Liam Manning. Exeter Plymouth. The Cornish derby, isn't it, that one? Yeah, the Cornish derby. The old Furries derby. Joe says, 5 years ago, mate, we were in the Prem, lying again, ole, ole. Well, you know what I mean. Villa were 5 years ago. You were maybe 6. It wasn't that long ago. Either way, you and Villa were in the Championship not that long ago. Gav says that's the reason Newcastle can't do a City. Also, they did say that they want to do it the proper way. Yeah, listen, they say that. They say it, Gav. However, you and I both know that Newcastle, in particular Newcastle, are watching that Manchester City 115 charges thing. They are watching that like hawks, aren't they? They are literally like that, just like with a fine-tooth comb, just double-checking everything. Because if Manchester City get let off with that, Newcastle are going to be like, ho, yes! Hunting season, we can go straight for it. They'll be out, they'll be buying everyone. Boom, straight in. £100 million bid for Rio Engamoa. Right. So it's still 1-0. How are we getting on in the other games? What we saying? Gav says, did you know, Key, that Haaland is on 525 grand a week? And he got that when he signed that new 10-year contract. 525 grand a week. That is sickening. And Empty says, breaching time. Do you think that City will? Serious question now. Does anyone actually believe that City will get charged? And if they do get charged, or found guilty rather, they've already been charged, haven't they? If they do get found guilty, what do we think the outcome is going to be for Manchester City? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat what you think. Oh, cheers for that. Thank you for the heart. Really appreciate that. Yeah, let me know in the chat what you're thinking. Do Manchester City get found guilty? And if they do get found guilty, what do you think they actually get by way of punishment? Fenerbahce 1, Stuttgart 0. Aktakoglu with the penalty. Come on, Stuttgart. Need a goal from you in that one. That's great play by Onana. Buendia. Gesand. Straight out. It's going to be a corner. It's going to be a corner. 3-star Red says, I have heard of swapping shirts, but virtually ripping it off the player's back before the end of the game, that is something else. He tore it off, didn't he? Yeah, I was going to say, it was like, it split through the middle here. The go-ahead Eagles shirt. Empty says they got charged. Oh, they get charged with a slap on the arse and a friendly donation to the FA. I know. I'm worried about that too. It's going to be a goal. Oh, it's going to be another corner. Another corner for Villa. Shot from Bohada at the end of the box. Any other goals in the Conference League as yet? No, there isn't, I don't think. Fiorentina 1-0 up in that one. Gav's highlight says, I don't think they will because the verdict should have been in August, September, and I think it'll be a fine. That's it. Can't be doing with just a fine. But there are rumours, aren't there? There's rumours that the brother of the Manchester City owner, Sheikh Mansour, the brother of him, is looking at Manchester United, and of course it's completely unrelated. But apparently it's like an insurance thing almost. That let's start to do a bit of due diligence on United, so that God forbid, if Sheikh Mansour gets found guilty of Manchester City doing all these things, which there's no suggestion that they will. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. We don't know. But if that were to happen, does just seem like maybe they're doing a little bit of digging into United so that if they get kicked out of the Premier League, they can relinquish control of City and go and take over at United. And it wouldn't even be him, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be Sheikh Mansour, it would be his brother. Empty says, this is the non-monetary punishments. Thing is, the non-monetary punishments are hard to enforce legally. I think because there is no standard legal procedure. I think it will still be a while till the case gets solved. It's been like 10 years plus though, hasn't it? Some of the charges date back to like 2013, mate. How much longer can it be? It's getting to the point where it's going to pass some sort of a statute of limitations, isn't it? And they're just going to be like, it was that long ago. Everyone at the club who was responsible for it is no longer here. Everyone else who is interested in the case, they've long since forgotten about it and they're just tired of it. So, I honestly think that what the Premier League and Manchester City are doing, City are just trying to waste time. That's what good lawyers do, isn't it? That is literally all that good lawyers ultimately do, is slow things down. That's what they are paid very, very good money to do, is slow things down with, oh, you just need to stop this, Judge. We need to take a look at this 300-page document before you make a decision. Will Forever K, do you think Man City will get let off? Surely not. I think let off, probably no. I think they'll get something, but I think what they get is going to be maybe a big fine, maybe a points deduction that's suspended. Something like that. Almost like I'll tell you what we'll do with you. We'll give you a massive fine for these things, and these things. But what we're going to do is we're going to suspend you 50 points. And it's going to be massive. And everyone's going to go like, oh my God, City get 50 points deduction. But it'll be suspended on the understanding that they don't do anything again. And if they get found guilty of doing anything again, it's an immediate 50-point deduction plus whatever else. So it will kind of be a slap on the wrists. And if you were City's lawyers, that's exactly what you'd be doing, isn't it? You'd be talking about, well, what we'll do is we'll slow it all down. And then if it does get to a point where, well, you know, we need to have a conversation because we might be found guilty of some things. We don't know. Again, we don't know if they are going to be found guilty until the panel announces whatever the decision they've reached. But if they were to be found guilty, the smart thing that most lawyers would do is go, well, let's just get in a room and have a conversation with them, and we'll agree to take a punishment on some things and agree to, because that's what they do, isn't it? They have plea deals ultimately. They'll say we'll change our plea from not guilty to speed this whole thing along, and in return you give us a lesser punishment. That's basically the judicial system. Jake says it could still be another year or two with City. That's so frustrating, isn't it? And Will says number 26 for SK Brand nearly scored a corker of a goal. Scott Carson just announced his retirement, says Liam. Scott Carson. The dirty turncoat. Won a Champions League with us. Took him another 15 years, win another one. Nearly another 20, didn't it? It was nearly another 20 years before he won it again. Ben says it's crazy how Chelsea have never been punished more than a transfer embargo and a fine too, though. Oh, listen, Chelsea, absolutely. I think if City get found guilty, Chelsea are next in line for it. And Empty says, good old transfer ban and a points deduction. Pup says, Gassama just booked for unsportsmanlike conduct, though the brand player took a dive worse than Rivaldo's. Joe, where's Pogba in all of this? Pogba? Is he still playing for Monaco? Did he play against Spurs last night, Paul Pogba? I assume so. Right, free kick for Go Ahead Eagles here. Bran have scored against Rangers. It's a goal for Bran. I knew they'd get one. Oh, what a goal from Go Ahead Eagles! What a goal from Go Ahead Eagles! It's a fabulous finish. Oh, get in. That's absolutely sensational. What a finish this is. Absolutely unreal. Martinez, absolutely no chance. Didn't even move. The ball gets played in. It's shocking defending from Villa off the free kick. Ball comes in. It's wonderful chest control. Takes it down. And he feels like he's got all the time in the world. It's Surai. All the time in the world. The number 17. And he just spins and volleys it into the top corner. Absolutely unreal. Is he onside? That's the only question. Oh, might be tight. Might be tight, this one. Some finish, though. Unbelievable finish. If this gets given, it's some goal. But there might be a check. There might be a check. Big goal for Go Ahead Eagles. I think he might be okay. I think he might be alright here. Check is happening. It's going to be very, very tight, you know. Very, very tight. So harsh, this. I hate these things. Because it's a really good goal. And it inevitably means so much to him. You can see it. That was like a massive, massive goal in their history against Villa, against a European Cup winning English side. He's on. He's onside there. I think he's on. I'm calling it onside. Yeah, he's on. He's on. He's easy onside. It's given. It's given. It's 1-1. Gav says the difference between Chelsea and City is we reported ourselves and handed ourselves in. I don't know. I don't know, mate. I think that's still a bit dodgy. I don't know. That's a bit dodgy, mate. Pop says, is it too early to start rolls out? Villa are washed. When is the verdict of the Manchester City case? I don't know. Well, the verdict was meant to be months ago. Reece says, no, Abramovich got told off by the government. Yeah, and Chelsea knew that they were going to get caught, so they kind of just, here's a little like cheeky apology. That's a great finish, that. Brilliant finish. Desperately need a goal in the... Oh, Hacken have scored. Alkmaar 1, Slovan Bratislava 0. Am I down in any games? I don't think I am I? Don't think I'm down. Fenerbahce and Stuttgart. Fenerbahce 1-0. I need a Stuttgart goal. Desperately need a Stuttgart goal. Oh my God, Christ. Tell you what, Villa are not doing all that well here. They're really not. And that's a foul and maybe a yellow card. Is it? But this is by the way the one of the smallest grounds in the Europa League this season, I believe. I imagine it's probably top 5 smallest grounds. Very tight to the pitch. An unusual name as well. The Adelaarshorst. That's what the stadium name is here, and. Yeah, Surai with the goal for Go Ahead Eagles. He joined last year from Molenbeek. Belgian. Very good player in between the lines. Says Reece, says Key, what happened with the old sponsor, if you don't mind me asking? I think that they were basically, they were asking for more than I was prepared to give, effectively. And they started sponsoring a couple of other people. Bigger, much bigger creators. And I think they've gone from maybe a different approach. They've gone from sponsoring lots and lots of small, newer creators like me to sponsoring, like, paying probably lots and lots of money to sponsor the big ones. So they've gone for like 3-4 big creators rather than lots and lots of little ones. So it didn't feel like they didn't stop. It just felt like it was the right thing because they were asking for things that I wasn't prepared to give, and in the end I just said, well, do you know what? Well, let's just park it and we'll come back to it in time. Like, there's no reason why we can't review it and come back to it in time. So yeah, there was nothing other than that really. Sack 'em off. Well, to be honest, man, I'm not that fussed. Like, it was very early. I didn't think we would get sponsorship until probably next season. So yeah, it was nice to get sponsorship, but I'm not that fussed. Really, it's nice to have, but I also don't want to give away more than we necessarily need to give away, if you know what I mean. B says 2 set pieces embarrassing last night. What about it? Embarrassing? For who? CT says, don't you think if you lose to Brentford that Frankfurt win is irrelevant? No, not really. Why would it be irrelevant? Reese, get on the Boohoo Man sponsorship. I could do with some threads. I'd be happy with some Boohoo threads. But Go Ahead Eagles are starting to assert themselves a little bit more in this game. We've got 4 minutes left at the end of the first half. Feels like they have... well, that's it, actually. 4 minutes is up. I don't know why I say we've got 4 minutes left. That is it for the end of the first half. 1-1. And it's been a really, really strong and spirited performance from Go Ahead Eagles in the second half of the first half, I would say. First half belonged to Aston Villa. Villa have had a couple of big chances. They put one away in the 4th minute, and then Surai with an absolutely unbelievable finish for the Eagles. An absolutely great goal, that. And it's 1-1. And, yeah, looking forward to seeing exactly how Villa approach this now, because... yeah, Go Ahead Eagles have always been quite good with teams sort of pushing out to try and attack them. They're a really, really good side under Ball, and they're a really good cup side as well. Obviously, they won the cup last year to get into Europe for the first time. What are we saying? Ben says it's basically Court Lane on FIFA. It is! Yeah, it is a little bit. 10,400 capacity of the Go Ahead Eagles Stadium. Cheers, Sam. Good to see you, man. Empty says, yes, maybe the town is small, but the area is quite populated. And Gav says you should try and get local businesses to UK to try and sponsor you. That's what my mate did. Helps out your local community as well. I mean, to be honest, I think the problem with that really is I don't think there's a huge amount of local people who watch me. I'd love it if they did. I don't think there's a huge amount of local... like, the vast majority of my audience is UK-based. But they're kind of all dotted around everywhere. And then it's great, it's mad to see that I think about 12% of my audience is in the US. Which is always nice to see. And we've had people watching from, like, the Philippines and... oh, it's cool. It's so cool. I love it. I love it when people pop in and are like, oh, I'm watching you now from... where was it that guy was the other week? Oh, he said I'm flying over Guatemala right now. I'm in Guatemala and I'm on a plane and I'm watching you on the plane. And I was like, whoa, love that. Delta 4 says, what do you think about Slot saying Newcastle are a small club? He didn't. He didn't say they were a small club. He said smaller club, which I don't think anyone would dispute. Newcastle are a smaller club than Liverpool, aren't they? Nobody would dispute that. Just passed my level 3 coaching badges today. Nice. Coaching what? What are you coaching? Footy coaching? Or coaching something else? Oh, lots of different types of coaching. Empty said thoughts on Bayern yesterday. I haven't seen Bayern, so I haven't watched the performance yesterday. I have no idea. I mean, Bayern are, when I have watched them this season, Kane and Diaz, unbelievable, electric, really good going forward. Defensively, couple of question marks. Don't think that they do well enough in Europe. I think they'll win the Bundesliga again, but I don't think they win anything more than that in Europe. They won't go anywhere in Europe. Pup says, watching in Scotland, we actually have electricity and the internet. Hey, well, you don't have it in all parts of Scotland. Christ, there's parts of Scotland I go to. We've got family up in Dumfries, and there's certainly parts of Dumfries where you go where there's not really any internet, and very sketchy electricity as well. I remember being in a cottage. It was in a cottage in the other side of Dumfries, basically, and there was no lecky, no internet. When we got there, no lecky, no internet, and we was warmed by the fireside. We was putting logs on the fire. It was wicked. It was nice, but it was weird for a couple of nights. Sam says, good to see you too, mate. Where's your chair? I've seen other YouTubers standing up now. It's a new thing. Or is it a new thing? Well, I don't know. I'm not trying to start a trend or follow a trend. I'm trying to shift a bit of weight, mate. I'm 6 stone down on what I was when I started this channel. If you go back and watch my, I mean, probably you might not be able to tell, I don't know. But if you go back and look at my earlier videos, my very, very first live watch-alongs, I'm 6 stone heavier than I am now. So I'm a lot better than I am now. I'm a lot better than I was then. So I'm trying to shift a bit more weight. I've started footy training again, and I'm standing up. So hopefully I'll be svelte. I'll be svelte. I'll have the Boohoo Man sponsorship coming in. It'll all be good. It'll all be gravy. I'm looking forward to it. And Empty says they will offensively. It's so fluid. It reminded me of the Champions League winning PSG. As a Bruges fan, it did hurt though. Yeah, I mean, Bruges are all over the place domestically though as well, aren't they, mate? They're not doing great domestically. D says, how long is your record signing out for? I don't know. I think it's just isn't it? I think it's his groin, so it might be maybe a week or two. And he actually hasn't injured it. He just felt it, so it's just precautionary. Ryan Gravenberch came off as a precaution, didn't he, in the Netherlands game, and he played against Man United. So yeah, Isak, it might just be a precaution. He might be starting against Brentford. We don't know. I would imagine though that Slot leaves him on the bench and doesn't risk him and gives him a bit of time to heal. Gav says, I don't know if you know who Rants is, Key. He streams while walking on a treadmill. I've heard the name. I don't know him. I've not watched him. I couldn't pick him out of a lineup. But I've heard the name. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, walking on a treadmill's cool. It makes you a bit more energetic, just stood up, doesn't it? Sam just had a look back, and yeah, I can tell. Well done, mate. Cheers, man. And Delta 4 says, did you see Sky Sports asking if Liverpool are better without Isak and Salah? That's very typical of Sky Sports asking such ridiculous questions. Are Liverpool better without their 2 best players? Or arguably their 2 best attacking players anyway. Salah's certainly our best player. After that, it's probably Van Dijk, and then, yeah, Isak's probably not far behind, but what a ridiculous question to ask. Gav says, it's expressions, bro. Expressions. Isn't he the Spurs fan? Is he the Spurs fan? I've heard the name, but I don't watch an awful lot of other content creators like that. D says, for me, I now think he needs to start performing. Fitness is now an excuse. Why is it an excuse? I just think you're a very sad Newcastle fan who's desperately trying for him to be a failure, and actually you would quite happily take him back over Voltemada. Quite happily. Lil Rich says, Ekatiki's better than Isak though, he's unreal. Nah, he's not, mate. Ekatiki is not better than Isak. He's playing him he's very, very good though. He's playing really, really well. But no, Ekatiki is not better than Alexander Isak. Expressions is Rance's brother. Oh, okay. Again, it sounds like I'm not having a pop. I genuinely don't know who these people are. It's not me being like, oh, I'm gonna dig. I don't watch it, so I don't know an awful lot about it, so I can't even say I know who they are. That's no slight on them. I'm sure they're fantastic. Liam, do you think Isak is cheeks, Key? Cheeks? Some of the slang that's coming out of you lads. He's absolutely cheeks, bro. Let him cook. Owen Andrews says, how we aren't out of sight in this is ridiculous. It's going to be one of those games. Listen, the Eagles are doing very, very well. They're playing really well in this one. Yeah, listen, the Eagles are going to have a really, really good goal tonight. It's their first ever major European venture. And they won. They won in their last game, didn't they? Was it Panathinaikos? They won in Greece, away at Panathinaikos. And it's a big old opportunity for them. Liam says, winding you up, Key, but he might be out for 6 to 7 weeks. Who? Isaac? Isaac's not out for 6 to 7 weeks. It's a groin injury. Yeah, it's not. I don't think that's an issue. Look at that, Sky Sports. How concerned should Liverpool fans be about Alexander Isak's injury record? Well, how concerned should we be? Not concerned at all is the answer. Not even slightly concerned is the answer. Lil Rich says he's done his groin, same as Palmer. Palmer missed 7 weeks, bro. Nah. It's not the same as Palmer. It's not the same as Palmer. And also, it's not that he's done it, it's that he felt it. It's that he felt it. That's what Arne Slot said. The exact word Slot said was that he felt his groin, which just means, doesn't mean he felt it go, just means he felt it quite tight and he's taken off as a precaution. Same as Gravenberch. Take him off as a precaution. Gravenberch started the next game. Isak might start against Brentford, but I very much doubt that he doesn't. Just given the fact that he's not really had a lot of football this season. I'm not going to say, didn't Palmer actually tear his? Wasn't Palmer's a tear in his groin? Yeah, there you go. So that's it. So Palmer has had a persistent and aggravating groin injury, which means he's been playing through the pain barrier for a number of weeks even before that. Which might explain, by the way, why Cole Palmer's form hasn't been brilliant this season. Cole Palmer's been playing with an injury, hasn't he? That's been the issue for Cole Palmer. Harry, what team do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, Harry. Liam says Liverpool considering Upamecano as an alternative to Gay. Well, Upamecano's also available on a free. And he wouldn't be a bad signing either. But I still think Gay comes to Liverpool. I'd be amazed if he doesn't. Yeah, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. Right, we are very close to kick off for the second half here now. Gav says also Caicedo's been playing with an injury as well, because all are injuries and red cards. To be honest with you, Key, playing the Club World Cup has come back to bite us in the arse with player fatigue. I think City will feel the same, to be honest. I think both City and Chelsea will struggle this season with injuries as a result of that Club World Cup. Liam Manning says Birmingham's stunning plans to build a new £3 billion stadium will be supported by the creator of PB. PB? Who's PB? Your mate Lee, Sky Blue Army, how's it going, Lee? Coventry City content creator and 17 out of 92 football shirts, 18 out of 92 grounds. I like it, Lee. That's wicked. I love that. You're a man after my own heart. I love those shirts. Good lad. Good to have a Cov fan in there. Hopefully see you lads in the Premier League next year. Right, well listen, we should have done, I apologise, I have to apologise, we should have done, shouldn't we, our half-time quiz, right? We should have done our half-time quiz. We still can do it if you want. Should we do our half-time quiz? We'll do it with the second half ongoing, right? Because the game is about to kick off, and it is kicked off, there you go. Empty, do you prefer York or New York? York, every day of the week. New York's really, really good from a novelty point of view. Once you go there, it's nice, but it's only good for a little bit, and then, yeah, I didn't enjoy New York. Whereas York, beautiful. Can't play foot golf in New York, can you? But I liked it. I liked it in New York too. Delta Force, I'm a Newcastle fan. We will have Salah if you want to send him over here. And Gav says, I don't know if you saw this about 3 weeks ago now, but FIFA want to make the next Club World Cup to 64 teams. They do, of course they do, because they're desperate to try and get some money, aren't they? Here's Villa coming forward. Edin Dzeko's just scored a second for Fiorentina against Rapido Vienna. Right, yeah, so listen, while we're watching Aston Villa against Go Ahead Eagles, there is a theme here. I want you to tell me the top 10 Dutchmen, the top 10 Dutch players to play in the Premier League by number of appearances. Number of appearances in the Premier League, Dutch players, give me the top 10. Start throwing me some names, come on. While we're playing a Dutch team, Aston Villa against Go Ahead Eagles, talk me through your top Dutch players. Liam says Robin van Persie. Robin van Persie is number 7. Yeah, Robin van Persie, number 7. 280 appearances for Van Persie. And Iron Robin. Iron Robin is not in there. Iron Robin, you've got to remember, he was only at Chelsea for a relatively short time before he moved to Real Madrid. So yeah, Iron Robin not in the list. So Robin not in the Van Persie is Virgil van Dijk. Yes, Virgil van Dijk is at number 4 currently. He's on 309 Premier League appearances. However, obviously he's still in the Premier League, and he is only a small number of appearances behind number 3 and number 2 in this list. Gareth 1978, Cruyff. Cruyff! As in Jordi Cruyff. I don't think did he actually play for Man United in the Prem? If he did, it was only a small number of games, wasn't it? I remember Jordi Cruyff playing against us in a cup final for Alaves against Liverpool. Liam Manning, Genie Wijnaldum. Genie Wijnaldum is number 11 in this list, so just outside the top 10. MT says Van Basten. Van Basten never played in the Premier League. Gav says Ruud and Rafael van der Vaart. Ruud van Nistelrooy, no. And Rafael van der Vaart, also no. Yeah, Ruud van Nistelrooy got 150 Premier League appearances, and he is well less than the 222 that Tim Krul got. Correct, he's number 10, Tim Krul. Ben, what's the question? The question is the top 10 Dutch players to play in the Premier League. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're going through right now. Number 10 is Tim Krul with 222. Number 7 is Robin van Persie with 280. Number 4, Virgil van Dijk, 309. And they are the only ones that people have got so far. Iron Robben, no. Genie Wijnaldum, no. George Boateng is correct. Number 1, 384 Premier League appearances. Good shout. Martson. Ian Martson. You're not going to get Martson. Liam Manning says Davy Clarkson. Davy Clarkson is no. Memphis Depay, no. Genie Wijnaldum we've had. Dirk Kuyt, Van der Sar. Dirk Kuyt is not. Dirk Kuyt is 13th in this list. Edwin van der Sar is 3rd, just ahead of Virgil van Dijk. He's only got 4 more appearances than Virgil van Dijk. Obviously, Van Dijk's still playing, so he should be overtaking him this season. Edwin van der Sar is 3rd. Gav's highlights, Bergkamp. Bergkamp is number 2. Dennis Bergkamp, 315. So you've now got the top 4. Boateng, Bergkamp, Van der Sar, Van Dijk. You're missing number 5. You're missing number 6. You've got Robin van Persie, number 7. You're missing number 8 and number 9. And you've got Tim Krul at 10. So you've got 4 more to get. You've got 6. You need 4 more to get. Empty says Van Hecker will be number 1 when he retires. Ben Hughes, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Yeah, good shout. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is number 5. And D28, Mario Melchiot. Correct. Mario Melchiot is number 6. Two more to get. 2 more. Ron Vlaar, good shout, but no, that's not the right one. We've got 2 more to get. Both of them played for, I believe, multiple clubs in the Premier League. Liam Manning, Michel Vorm, no. D28, Eric Peters, correct. Eric Peters is number 9, 225. So you go, you got 1 more to get. You've got Krul, Peters, Van Persie, Melchiot, Hasselbank, Van Dijk, Van der Sar, Bergkamp and Boateng. They are the top, well, you've got 9 of the top 10 Dutchmen. You need 1 more to get. 1 more. Villa with a chance in the box. It's not Donny van der Beek. It's not Michel Vorm. It's not Dirk Kuyt. It's not Patrick van Aanholt. Very good shout that though. Patrick van Aanholt is just outside at number 12. As is Wijnaldum at number 11. Dirk Kuyt is number 13. So no, they're not right. Gav says, I wish Wesley Sneijder came to the Premier League. He was linked to United every season, wasn't he? But it never happened. 3-star Reds, Pierre Van Hooijdonk may not be in the top 10, but he was top class when it comes to picket lines. Ben Hughes, Edgar Davids. No, Edgar Davids, good shout. He played for Palace, played for Spurs. But no, Edgar Davids is not in there. Gav, Ake, yes, good shout, Gav. Nathan Ake it is, who's got the goal, who's got the number 9 spot, sorry. Or number 8 spot, rather, 240. There you go. There's your top 10 Dutchmen. Top 10 Dutchmen to play in the Premier League. Oh, Hacken 2, Rayo Vallecano 1. Shocking. We've had Van Persie, we've had Mario Melchiot. I'll give you the top 10 again, just in case you wanted to listen. The top 10 was Tim Krul at 10, 9, Eric Peters, 8, Nathan Ake, Van Persie at 7, Mario Melchiot 6, 5, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, 4, Virgil van Dijk, 3, Edwin van der Sar, 2, Dennis Bergkamp, and 1, George Boateng. Genie Wijnaldum 11, Van Aanholt 12, and Dirk Kuyt 13. So I guess we've done the top 13 there, really. Right, free kick to Villa. Sancho stood over it. Chance for Villa to put one in the box. Mike says, love the format, by the way. Cheers, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Daz says, what would be your 11 for Saturday now? My 11 for Saturday. Mamadashvili, Bradley, Kanate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Jones, Soberslai, Wirtz. Ekatiki, Gakpo, Chiesa. That would be mine. Yeah. Gav says, surprised that Rude is nowhere on that list. Yeah, well, Rude got 150. Yeah, Rude got 150 appearances, so he was about 60 appearances behind number 10, Tim Krul. Mike says, I'm a United fan as well, so hold a bit of weight. Hey, listen, we got plenty of United fans on here, Mike. They all come in and take the piss, and then they'll bounce out again, and they'll come back a couple of weeks later with a tail between the legs after you get beat by Grimsby or whatever. It's all good. You got to take it. You got to take the rough with the smooth, mate, haven't you? Liam says, did you see that Gary Lineker on his podcast has done the top 10 Spanish players? Gary Lineker can go and hock spiders. Brand 2, Rangers 0. Rangers having a bad night. A very bad night. Very bad night. And Ben says, did you watch Hasselbank on the overlap? I didn't. No, I haven't seen too much of the overlap. Delta Force, do you think try and get Botman next year? Who, Liverpool? No. We don't want Sven Botman. Christ, the last thing we need is Sven Botman. You must be joking me. Gav, is Slot the only ever Dutch manager to win the league in England? Yes, he is, isn't he? To be honest, there's not too many Dutch managers I can think of. Give me some Dutch managers who've managed in the Premier League. Martin Jol, Gus Hiddink, Van Gaal, De Boer. Who else? Give me some Dutch managers. Who am I missing? Dutch managers. Koeman. Ronald Koeman. Ronald Koeman. Arne Slot. De Boer. Hiddink. Ruud Gullit. Rijkaard hasn't managed in the Prem. Yeah, if you're thinking of Ruud Gullit. Yeah, Rijkaard never managed in the Prem. AEK Athens 4, Aberdeen 0. Dick Advocaat. Did Dick Advocaat manage in the Prem? I don't think he did. He only ever managed it. He might have, actually. I'm starting to question that now. Did he have like a spell managing someone like Fulham or something, Dick Advocaat? Like a short-term thing? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he did, actually. I don't know if he did. I always thought Dick Advocaat was just Rangers, really, and like PSV. Oh, Sunderland, he did. Yeah, sorry, he did. Sunderland, I forgot about that. Emiliano, this looks like a bad week for the German football. And Daniel says, big old D at Sunderland. Yeah, honestly, I forgot about Dick Advocaat at Sunderland. Mike says, can we have another quiz? Well, yeah, we can. I mean, so we do a halftime quiz every night, every game. I do a watch along every day, and every game I do a halftime quiz. So I'm doing another game straight after this one. I'm doing the Nottingham Forest. Well, hang on. We need to have a vote on this. Let's make it a democracy of sorts. Do we watch Nottingham Forest against Porto, Sean Dyche's debut, or do we stick with, as scheduled, Palace against AEK Larnaca? Daniel says, did you see the rest of football copied your quiz? Did they actually? The shitbags? No, they didn't. Did they actually? I don't believe that. Don't believe you. Don't believe you. If they did, I am absolutely calling. I'm freaking out about that one. It's got to be Daichi on a European tour. Daichi on tour. Yeah, I agree. The Gary Lineker, I said, Key. What, that he copied me quiz? Oh, Guessand, he's in. Good tackle, really good tackle there. Empty says Celta Nice. I can't watch Celta Nice. I've got to... Listen, there's some games I would like to personally watch. But also, I also have to do games that have a little bit of appeal to my audience. And generally speaking, the only ones that are going to appeal are Palace or Forest. Like, I wouldn't mind watching Celta and Nice. I'd quite happily watch Celta and Nice. I'd quite happily watch... what's the other one I was talking about before? I'd quite happily have watched Fenerbahce and Stuttgart now. Even though it's Go Ahead Eagles and Villa. Here's Go Ahead Eagles. Chance. Might be 2. Oh, they scored it. Is he onside? I think he is. Oh, it's 2-1. It's 2-1 to the Eagles. Oh, my goodness me. This is an unbelievable ball over the top. It's a great touch, a great chest, and a great goal. It's absolutely fantastic. What a finish this is. I don't know who it is. Who gets the assist? It's the right back who scores it. Dagel, he's really, really far advanced. It's a great finish. Absolutely unreal. Mats Dagel, long-serving fullback. Unbelievable ball over the top. He's the furthest forward and he just lifts it over Martinez. It's a great goal. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's actually come from the left back. I think it's Dean James, the Indonesian left back. It's a switch. It's from one full back to another. The left back over to the right back, overlapping, pushing forward. What a finish that is from the Dutchman, Mats Dagel. Or Mats Dale. Might be Mats Dale, maybe we call it Dale. But there you go, 2-1 to Go Ahead Eagles. Daniel, you know I am a man of integrity and only tell the truth. I tagged you in it on TikTok. Do you know what? I saw you tag me in something, but it was just before I came on, or just before I started doing all the prep for this. So I haven't looked at it yet. I've still got the notification. I've meaning to look at it, but I hadn't done it yet. Put your suit on and sue him. Well, I tell you what it does mean. It does mean, if nothing else, that they're keeping an eye out. That they're keeping an eye out on the next crop of talent, aren't they? Whoa, if you're watching, Gaz, if you're watching Gary Lineker, I accept quiche. I accept quicheola. Not quiche. Cash. That was cash. I don't accept quiche. I don't like quiche. Daniel says, where are the Go Ahead Eagles from? They are from a place called Deventer in the Netherlands. The Netherlands. Yeah, small place called Deventer. Well, I tell you what, I didn't have this. Go Ahead Eagles scoring 2 goals, and none of them have been scored by the guy who I thought would get on the score sheet tonight, Milan Schmidt. Milan Schmidt, young 22-year-old, top scorer for Go Ahead Eagles this season. I thought he would be the star player for him tonight. I thought he would be the one who would maybe get a goal. It's not. It's been the fullback. And Surai, actually. Surai has been one of the ones to cause problems this season. He's a bit more of a danger man in and around the box. But certainly didn't expect Matt Dale to get on the score sheet. The captain. Empty says, watching Genk Betis, such a boring game. Is it still 0-0, that one? And Empty says, Key only accepting quiche from now on. No more donations, only home quiche deliveries. Gav's highlights. What about Celtic or Rangers, Key? That could be a good idea for views. Do you think? I don't think... Do you know what? Actually, my most watched games on this channel have been Scottish games. Some of my best watch-alongs have been Scottish games. I did Rangers in pre-season. Rangers against Club Bruges. Hibs. We did Hibs, a couple of Hibs games. They were brilliant. Hibs against Midtjylland, and I think we did Aberdeen as well, a couple of games. We've had some decent games in Europe this season for Scottish teams. Reece says, what is Lineker up to now? He's copying my quiz. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He's copying my quiz. Oh, is it the Spanish players with the most Premier League appearances? It's that one. Gav's highlight says, trust me, key Rangers and Celtic games always do well. Well, we have done a Rangers Celtic game already this season, and I don't think it did that well, if I remember. I think we did the Old Firm when it was. Remember, it was 0-0 earlier this season. Yeah, we did that game. It was shocking. It was terrible. Daniel, what game do you think you were the only streamer to do a watch along for? Oh, I've done loads of games that I'm the only watch-along for. Loads of them. I bet I was the only streamer in the whole world that did Egypt against Djibouti. I bet I was the only streamer that did the Latvian League games that we've done. We've done Auda against Riga. I bet I was the only streamer in the world that did the Iceland games, the Icelandic games in the international break. There's loads of games that I've done that no other bugger's done. In fact, I'll go as far as saying I'm the only streamer. In fact, I do more games than anyone else. More games than anyone else. Don't care what anyone said. No one's done 300 plus watch-alongs by October. Nobody. Nobody's giving you that variety. Sancho's coming off. Who's gone on? Sancho off for Kamara. Interesting change. It's not exactly like for like, and they're a goal down. Why are you taking Kamara off, Sancho off for Kamara? Reece telling me what 15% of all money earned from Walker's adverts. Empty says, yes, but when are you going to make it real and do a South Korean J-Lings game? We've already done a J-Lings game. We've done a J-Lings game. I have already done a Jesse Lingard game in the South Korean league. Oh, well, that's not strictly true. We did Barcelona against whatever they're called. Whoever it is, it's Shaw. Is it Shaw? Yeah, whoever he plays for in South Korea. I forget the team name now, but we did that game in pre-season, and I had Rashford and Lingard on the thumbnail. So I have done a Jesse Lingard game in South Korea. Emiliano says, watch Betis v Atletico on Monday. Big game, so many viewers. I can't. I'm training on Monday night. I'm playing footy on Monday now, so I can't be doing Monday nights are the only day I'm not going to be doing anymore, I think, going forward. Unless there's like a really big Premier League game, then I might have to skip training for a big Premier League game. We'll see. Cheers for the likes. Thank you very much for tapping the screen and sharing. It massively helps. Thank you very much. If you're on YouTube and watching along, give us a like, give us a follow, share if you can, subscribe if you're new around here, all that good stuff. What are we, 68 minutes in? It's the first time I've asked. If you can do us a favour and like and subscribe and comment and share. If you can hype as well, if you're on YouTube. You can click hype now. I don't know if you know what that is, but you can see there's a thing at the bottom that says hype. You can hype the channel. Basically just tells everyone, go and check this guy out, he's alright. Costs you nothing, massively helps me. So if you get an opportunity to do that, I would be most grateful. Alex says, how are you feeling after yesterday's game? Good, yeah, really good, love it. It was a good performance, fully deserved win. Villa struggling here though. Do you know, and this is so typical of Villa, isn't it? Beat Spurs at the weekend and then go away to go ahead Eagles and get beat. It's not the sort of performance we was expecting from Villa. Ball whipped in, off the post, and away. was unlucky, actually. Harvey Elliott not getting a game for Villa. I know why. Where is Harvey Elliott? Is he on the bench tonight? I was going to say, is he even on the bench? That's crazy. Yeah, he is. Harvey Elliott is on the bench, but he was on the bench against Spurs and on the bench against Burnley. Oh, that's not good. That is not good at all. He's literally got 5 minutes in the last, 5 games for Villa. So really, and he's on the bench. He's fit and able to play, but he's on the bench. That's so bad. Harvey Elliott should be starting for him. Sad, isn't it? Emiliano, when a game like the Istanbul Derby is on, will you watch a game like this? Possibly. It really depends, mate, on what the other games are that are on at that time. Because ultimately I'm going to prioritise the games that are of most interest. So, I won't mind watching the Istanbul Derby. I'd quite happily watch any league, you know me, mate. I'll quite happily watch it, but ultimately there's lots of games on, and unfortunately they all collide at the same time sometimes. So, this weekend, Real Madrid-Barcelona, huge game. Of course I would love to watch the Clásico, but I'm going to give priority to Everton against Spurs. So I'm watching Everton-Spurs. Come on, the Spurs. Daniel says Arsenal games have the most interest. Not in my experience anyway. Not for me. Premier League games actually don't have a lot of interest for me. In terms of number of views are well lower for Premier League games. And that's probably just because of the number of other streamers that are about. Because the majority of other streamers just do Prem games, don't they? They don't focus on European games like this, or Championship games like I do, or other European League games. They don't watch them all, so they just focus on the Prem. So they only end up doing lives once every so often. Whereas I really like it. I really like the Premier League. And I like watching every league. Emiliano says Turkey fans are crazy. I bet this would bring many viewers. Possibly. Yeah, possibly. But possibly not as well. I would be banking on the idea that a load of Turks would suddenly find my channel and that they would speak English as well, which inevitably I'm guessing they wouldn't. I mean, some would, but some wouldn't. So, yeah, I'm not sure that a Turkish fan would necessarily search for an English streamer of the Galatasaray game. Ben says, did Emery even want to sign Harvey Elliott? I would have hoped so. And 3-star Reds, key training on Monday, starting up front for Everton the following Saturday. Daniel, are you doing a 12:30 kickoff? On Saturday I am, yeah. Let's have who's on my schedule for this weekend. I can't remember. So schedule for this week is, we've got Friday. Oh yeah. No, I'm not doing I'm doing 2 games on Saturday. I'm doing Man United v Brighton, which is a 5:30 kickoff, and then I'm doing Brentford against Liverpool, which is a 8 o'clock kickoff. So we've got Man United, Brighton, straight on to Brentford and Liverpool. And then on the Sunday, we've got Arsenal Palace, and then Everton v Spurs. Is that right? Yeah. Arsenal Palace Sunday, Everton Spurs Sunday as well. Coventry play Watford at home at 12:30. Oh, I didn't see. Do you know what? I think I need to reassess some of the games. What I did was I ended up scheduling a month in advance, and some of the games now I've maybe rejigged a little bit in terms of importance. Like, for example, I scheduled Palace against Larnaca, and since then, Dyche has become Forest manager, and it now appears to be a slightly bigger game, doesn't it, than maybe Palace and Larnaca is. Palace will batter Larnaca. They'll put 4 or 5 past them. Whereas Forest against Porto is going to be a very good game. So I think I'm going to switch the game that we've got at 8 o'clock tonight. As soon as this goes off, we'll watch Forest against Porto. Right, free kick for Villa. Played short. Ball in. Cleared away by the Eagles. Daniel, did you watch the Dyche press conference? He was giving good chat. I like Sean Dyche. I really like him. Everton fans were giving him a load of abuse, saying, oh yeah, he's an absolute liability. And Forest fans, you're going to get used to not winning games of football and all this. But honestly, the guy saved Everton. I think they're so unappreciative of the fact that he literally came in and saved the club. It's not been a brilliant second half, this, though. It hasn't been vintage. It's not been vintage football, I would say. Desperately need a Stuttgart goal. Desperately need a Betis goal. Desperately need a Salzburg goal. That's really it tonight, you know. I think if I can get, ideally, a Villa goal. Yeah, Villa goal. A Salzburg goal. Maybe a Rayo goal as well. But Villa, come on Villa, we need a Villa equaliser. It's a claim for a handball, there's a claim for a handball. Is he giving it? He's give a corner, but there is a claim for a handball here. Or does he give a pen? I think he's give a pen. I think he's give a pen. I think he's give a pen here. I think it's a penalty to Aston Villa. It was a ball whipped in. Did he keep it in though? This is the question. Yeah. Oh, that's not handball. Oh, he is. It is actually. I got it wrong. I got it bang wrong. It's definitely handball. It's a definite penalty, that. That is a 100% penalty for Aston Villa. Simple decision for the referee. And it's going to be a pen. Pen to Villa. Daniel, I wanted the Trees to get relegated because of the sacking of Nuno Santo, but Dyche is one of my favourite managers. Nice. I like that. Yeah, I like Dyche. Yeah, I don't know why they're even checking this. It's clear as day. It's absolutely clear as day. It's a penalty to Villa, and it has to be. Absolutely has to be a goal here, and it's going to be Buendia who steps up to take it to make it 2-2 to Villa. (2-2 to Villa. 2-2. Not 2-2 to Villa. It's because I've got double chance. That's why I say 2-2 to Villa. I've got Villa or draw. 2-2 to Villa. Effectively, it is in my sense, but 2-2 it will be if Buendia puts this away. Big opportunity going into the last 10 minutes of the game. Big last 10 minutes if Buendia scores this. Right-footed. Emi Buendia against Yari de Bussa. He's missed it. He's skied it. Oh, Yari de Bussa. Absolutely ecstatic there. And Buendia it's just far too casual. What are you doing? What on earth are you doing, Buendia? Oh, that's so poor. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. That's absolutely outrageous, that. Sam Savini, why do you think everyone is hating on Arsenal's ability to score set-piece goals? Is it jealousy? No, I don't think that they're hating on Arsenal. What they're doing is that they're focusing on the fact that Arsenal are not very good from open play. And consequently, they're exceptionally good from set-pieces. And it's that kind of dimorphism, whatever, it's that kind of juxtaposition of them being very, very good at set-pieces, but really, really dull and boring from open play, and nobody really enjoys watching them. So it's that. It's not hatred, it's not jealousy, it's nobody really enjoys set-piece goals. Set-piece goals are a sign of Tony Pulis style of football. Bran 3, Rangers 0. Sweet Lord. Sweet Lord. Great words, Key. Well, juxtaposition is that's the right thing, isn't it? Juxtaposition. One, two things very, very different to each other, and dimorphism. I have not got word of the day toilet paper, and I'm just using it to get it out. I am just I was just struggling for the right analogy there. Sam says, don't know what you're saying with the most exciting team to watch. I can absolutely assure you that you're not. I can absolutely assure you that you're not. As an Arsenal fan, I'm sure you think you are. But I absolutely guarantee that you would be amongst the worst. In terms of attractiveness of football, you would be amongst the worst ever Premier League title winners. If Arsenal were to win it, you're certainly not going to win the Champions League, but if you do win the Premier League, you would be amongst the worst, for sure. Daniel says, people just don't like change, modernisation and innovation, everything that Arsenal are. Arsenal are change, modernisation and innovation? I don't think it's that. I think people like football played in a certain way. They are... People are nostalgia merchants, aren't they, for the most part? And they like to see football played on the deck and with nice 1-2s and all that sort of stuff. Arsenal very, very rarely play in that way. It's very much physicality wins for Arsenal. It's putting 11 big, tall, strong players on the pitch and hitting it long. There's not an awful lot of absolute quality a lot of the time. Even Bukayo Saka's having a limited impact on the team this season, isn't he? It's mostly coming from set pieces. Saliba and Gabriel are having a field day. AEK Athens 5, Aberdeen 0. Sam says, honestly, I don't love watching us at the moment, but Arteta is under so much pressure to win something. And that's it, yeah. But he's been playing this way for 6 years, hasn't he, mate? I understand. He's got to prioritise victories and success. And that has, at times in his Arsenal career, that's cost him points, hasn't it? He's been unwilling to let the handbrake off, is what Arsenal fans kept saying. So he's not really been able to do that. Or he's been unwilling to do that, one of the two. So, yeah, he's under a lot of pressure to win something. 6 years, he spent more than anyone else in that time period. He spent more again this summer. Spent more than Liverpool this summer. Spent more than anyone else this summer. Spent more than anyone else over the last 5-6 years. He has to win something. He's under immense pressure to do so. I think if he doesn't win it this year, there would have to be serious questions asked. Because Arsenal were the favourites from the off. Here we go. What are we saying? Pub goal, Bran 3-0. Delta Force, I don't get why they tried to just put pens into the roof of the net. Just bang it hard and low. Just bang it hard and low. Sam says if he doesn't win something, he will have to go, but I don't believe there's a better coach available. I think there's coaches that would take chances and take risks. And that is ultimately what it boils down to with Arteta. His decisions or his willingness to take risks. He doesn't want to take too many risks, and as a result, Arsenal are incredibly tiresome to watch. Effective, but incredibly tiresome to watch. And as a result, you'll get a lot of draws, which has cost you in recent Premier League title races, hasn't it? So it might be the case again. It might be that you get too many draws. You won't concede too many, but you'll probably have games where you struggle to score. And that has been the case already at times this season. So it might well be that we'll see, I guess. We'll see. But he does need to win something. You're absolutely right on that front. Arteta absolutely has to win something this year. And something big. It has to be the Premier League or the Champions League. And if I'm dead honest, I don't see him winning the Champions League. He might well win the Prem. He might well win the Prem. That guy Miles says, you said Liverpool should win league at start of the season. Won league, spent hundreds of millions. No, that's not true, mate. That's not true, Miles. I didn't say Liverpool would win the league. What I said was Arsenal are the favourites. I actually said last season, even before this summer, I said that we wouldn't win the league this year because we would be doing an awfully big rebuild that needed to happen. So, yeah, no, I absolutely don't think that Liverpool will win the league this season. I said that before the season started. I'm still of that opinion. Arsenal have spent more money than anyone else. It was always likely that they would be the favourites, and they are the favourites, and they have to win it. The pressure is all on Arsenal. Liam says Arteta would rather take a draw at Liverpool than go and win the game. Yeah, and inevitably that's going to be what happens in some games this season, and he'll get punished for it. He very nearly did against City. City were the better team. Liverpool were the better team. We won it. City should have won it. Newcastle should have won it. Shocking that Newcastle didn't even get anything in that game. So there's loads of times where Arsenal have just about got away with it, and it's swings and roundabouts, like I say, and that's directly as a result of Arteta's management and Arteta's tactics. It's not due to the quality of the players. Arsenal have got the players to win the title. The manager is the question. Sam says, Sam Savini, the only teams that scare me in the Champions League are Bayern and PSG, to be honest. Bayern? Barca and Real Madrid had put Arsenal away. I think City and Liverpool would over two legs, to be honest. I think over two legs you'd struggle against those four. Barca, Real Madrid, five actually. Barca, Real Madrid, PSG, City and Liverpool. I'd fancy all of those to beat Arsenal over two legs. Sam, everyone said that about Real Madrid last season. I know, but I think it's a different Real Madrid this season. I think we're already seeing it's a different Real Madrid. Arsenal have been... You could say the same, couldn't you? Could say the same. Last season, everyone was saying Arsenal would win the league. They've been saying the same thing for 3... They haven't won a toss. They haven't won anything. So it's the exact same thing with Arsenal. But I think this season Real Madrid would have the edge on Arsenal. They're a better side now. Better managed, better side. Daniel, Real Madrid would put Arsenal away. Did you see Arsenal beat them twice last season? I did. Yeah, I did. But I don't think that's evidence that Arsenal would beat them again this season. In the same way that you're fairly confident, I would imagine, that you'll win the Premier League this season, or you'll have a bloody good chance, and you haven't won it for 6 years. So recent history is not always a good predictor of what's coming. A Barcelona team who play that high line, no chance. PSG is only. Like I said, the only team who took PSG as far as anyone, we took them to penalties. We were the team that ran PSG closest last season. And they only beat us on penalties in the end. We beat them on their own pitch. Sam says most successful team against the Spanish. Counts for nothing though if you don't actually go on and win the tournament, does it? Still not won the tournament. You can't be saying it that. You can't be, holding that up as a success with the most successful team in Europe against the Spanish. What has it actually led to, though? Liam says Villa didn't they? Yeah, Villa did. Villa beat them on their own turf as well. You're right. Then they got battered on their own patch, didn't they? That's ultimately what. Oh no, they didn't. They didn't beat them. Villa didn't beat them on their own patch, did they? Did they? I don't think they did. I can't remember. They might have done. I'm trying to think now. Maybe they did. They had a good result in Paris. I can't remember if they actually beat them, though. Right, well, we're heading into literally the last... How many minutes of added on time are we going to get? Villa have got a very, very small window here to try and get an equaliser. It's not been a good night for Aston Villa. Ball whipped in. It's headed behind. It's going to be a corner kick. And there are 3. Is that 3 or is it 5? I think it's 3 added minutes. It doesn't feel like a lot. 3 added minutes for go-ahead Eagles and Aston Villa here. This is going to be a really, really big one for Villa if they get beat. Ball whipped in. Easy catch for Debussy. This is a bad old night for Aston Villa. Do you know what? I think this is heading towards Unai Emery getting sacked. Well, no, let me rephrase that. Unai Emery is on far too much money to get sacked. But I think they'd like him to leave. And I think he might be tempted to move. Daniel says it led to an Henry edit of shielding the ball at the Bernabeu. Yeah. Unreal that, wasn't it? Great play from Thierry Henry. It's a shame he had to leave Arsenal to go and win the big trophies. Ball played out to the far right-hand side here. Come on, Villa. Come on, Villa. Stood up. Chance. Oh, no. It's going to be a goal kick. Go ahead, Eagles. Really, really looking strong here. Tyrone Mings playing as an auxiliary centre-forward at the end of this game. It's been a bad, bad night for Villa. Skendia have nicked it against Shelbourne. Skendia 1, Shelbourne 0. 60 seconds or so to go here in Deventer. Come on, Villa. Come on, Villa. Genk 0, Betis 0. It's going to be a corner. Here we go. 30 seconds left. Surely Martinez comes forward for this. This is the last chance saloon here for Villa. They're not going to get any other chances. Mings is forward. Everyone's forward. Corner kick Villa. Ball whipped in. Punched out to the edge of the area and volleyed away. That's a foul. That's a foul. It's going to be a free kick to Villa. 20 seconds to go. Lyon have got a second against Bâle. Lyon 2, Bâle 0. They keep showing the same fella in the stands. And he looks the most Dutch fella I have ever seen in my life. He looks like one of those old guys you used to see on Euro Trash. Oh no, he's got to wait for the whistle. Come on. Wait for the whistle. The referee's going to let him take it again. Braga 2. Red Star 0. Here we go. John McGinn floated in. And, oh, it's a counter-attack for the Eagles. Shakhtar 1, Legia Warsaw 2. There you go. The Eagles have won it. The Eagles have landed. Go ahead, Eagles 2, Aston Villa 1. What a fantastic night. What a historic night for the Dutch side. Beating Aston Villa. Unbelievable performance, it has to be said. They're on the floor. They're absolutely on the floor here. But what a great game for the Dutch side. Villa just falling to bits really tonight. It's not been a good game for them. Listen, I am going to end the stream and I'm going to get stuck into Crystal Palace. And we'll see how we go for that one. Or we're going to go. We'll do Forest. We'll do Forest Porto. Maybe. I'll see. Let me rejig the stream